Hello and good day. This is week 16, and it's the week of finals at NWCC. So this is basically my last publication to you for this semester. Thank you for following through. For those who were able to keep up, um, we've gone through a whole bunch of things this semester, and I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that has been able to consistently do the work assigned and submit and ask for questions and take feedbacks and go back to make updates here and there. Thank you very much. You've made it worthwhile. Some of you might know, some of you may be not. This is the first iteration of this particular course. So basically, this is the first semester we are teaching it. So some of the things we had to do trial and error, but I think overall it worked out fine. By now, my assumption is you have an idea of some of the things it entails when you say, "Oh, I'm developing for the cloud," right? Some of the things you have to put into consideration. Security becomes a big deal because basically you are giving over your intellectual property to a third party to host for you. Cost becomes a big deal as well because you don't want to overrun your budget. Um, every platform that you use will give you multiple choices or multiple ways to deploy your application. It's up to you to decide which of the options that you have works best for you. We did not by any means go into all the services that AWS has um, for any organization to use, but at least we looked into S3. We did look into S3 Glacier, but S3 Glacier is just it's a less costly long-term storage compared to S3, and of course that also means it's not as responsive as S3. We looked into EC2, which is the elastic compute. We I didn't actually expose that to you, but behind the scene for the API for the REST API that you guys were using for your website, I was using what's it called? Um, Redshift, which is AWS's transactional database. I was actually going to use another one called the document DB, something similar to MongoDB, but I was running into some problems with that. But anyway, so you were able to deploy your your website on EC2. My assumption is some of you deployed multiple times. Of course, you made some changes locally and you deployed, you make changes and you deploy. And you were able to see how that works. We didn't definitely go into IP addresses or domain name registration because we didn't want to have to spend any money for this class. But if you were to do that, you register a domain name with a service provider. GoDaddy is the one I personally use. Different people have preferences. And then you have your domain name points to whoever is hosting. In this case, it would have been AWS. For the final, I'm not giving any exam per se, but I'm going to ask you to write a 2 to 3 page reflection paper. And I do have a number of questions there as well that can help guide the reflection paper as you write it. It's 2 to 3 pages. Let me see. Excuse me. 11 font size, double spaced, Microsoft Word. And I mentioned here that you will be graded on a well thought out paper. I'm not grading you based on whether you had a positive experience or you had a negative experience. Basically, my grading is not going to be based on your bias towards the class as a whole. The reflection paper is really to advise in terms of how the class, what you felt as a student about the class, so that we can improve it for subsequent semesters. So you'll be graded for the structure, for completing the paper, but not, I mean, for example, if you say this was a waste of your time, that doesn't mean I'm going to deduct points from you. Okay. The reflection paper assignment, it will serve as the final, and it's going to be available in Blackboard between May 8th, which is when the exam week starts, and May 11th. May 8th, which is Monday, May 9th, Tuesday, May 10th, Wednesday, and May 11th, Thursday. So it disappears after Thursday. If you have any questions with regards to the reflection paper, let me know before Thursday. If you ask me on Thursday, I can't guarantee that I will be able to respond on time for you to be able to submit on time. What else is there? I think that's about it. Thank you very much for a wonderful semester, and I wish you guys a happy summer. Thank you.